This is New England Nation Extra. I'm Cole Johnson, and across the screen, my partner, Maria Tribal Peace. Maria, how are we doing today?
You know what, Cole? I'm excited because we're getting so much closer to a first padded practice here for the Patriots. There's a lot of exciting things going on. So, today's a pretty good day, I would say.
It is exciting. It's been a couple of slow weeks. Of course, a strange season for everybody coming into training camp. It was pushed back. Guys just filing in every day, getting tested, just small workouts, maybe guys on the field here and there with helmets on. It's going to be interesting to see once things actually pick back up, how they will respond to that. Not only the Patriots, but every team across the league.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. I mean, you've seen other leagues, be successful, the WNBA, the NBA, with the bubbles, and then you see Major League Baseball having some problems. So it'll be interesting to see if the Patriots and teams across the NFL follow the protocols and how well those protocols will protect the players.
Yeah, and with that being said, today at 4 o'clock is actually the deadline for the opt-out period. So we will keep an eye on to see if any more guys get added to that list of opting out of the 2020 season. But we're going to start with this. In New England, Maria, the big thing is fundamentals and execution. And we got that from Bill Belichick last week when he spoke for the first time this season. They're entering this season, no matter how different it is, they're coming into it with the same preparation, the same fundamentals that they do every season. And a big part of that is the next man up mentality. And as much as it's different, it takes on a new meaning of that next man up mentality with all the opt-outs, all of the roster turnover this team has. There's a lot of gaps to fill, and there's a lot of leadership roles to fill.
Absolutely, Cole. I mean, it's the same mentality, it's the same process as Belichick was saying, but it's different players, it's different people. So finding where those players are going to fit into the puzzle is going to be a huge task for Belichick. And it's almost affecting every position on the field. I mean, you have changes on the O line, in the quarterback, you have the linebackers moving, like leaving, opting out. There's so many different things that are going to change for the Patriots, but really honing in on that next man up mentality is what not only Belichick talked about, but some of the players did yesterday as well.
Yeah, Maria, and we could focus for days on that, just the quarterback position alone and Tom Brady leaving. But like you said, every position has something, and one of those positions is a linebacker spot. After Dante Hightower, a leader on this team, three-time Super Bowl champion, he decided to opt out of the season. That opens up some doors, and there's guys that are going to have to fill those spots. And one of the guys who talked yesterday was Juwan Bentley, entering his third year from Purdue. He had a small productive year as rookie, or only played 3 games. Last year played all 16 games, and he stepped up a lot, and he's really willing to take on a new role this year.
Yeah, Jawan Bentley definitely he did step up last year, as you mentioned, Cole. And he actually talked when he spoke to the media yesterday. He said that leadership is something that you don't force. It's something that someone has to earn. You kind of see who the leader is going to be. But here's what he said when people asked him about if he could be the leader that Dante Hightower was last year.
It's going to be the first time I wore the green dye, but obviously that's the head communicator. That's the one who relays the calls to everybody. So if that's the role that I have to take on, which is highly likely, so we have to be able to adjust to that. Everybody has a role to play, and if that's what mine will be, then I have to do that and try my best to do that very well. We have a lot of new guys, so you have to step in whatever role fits you best. I'm a big advocate for not forcing a leadership role. The leadership finds you. It finds you, and you react with that. Like you never force the leadership position. You let it happen.
Jawan Bentley looking to be a leader for that linebacker group, Cole, but an area of the Patriots roster that is actually quite solid is that secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter how you look at it, this secondary group they're a fun group. They're flashy. They're competitive, and they get the job done. It's been the most solid unit on this Patriots squad for the last several years. I mean, you have a lockdown corner and an MVP, former MVP, and Stephon Gilmore, the reigning defensive MVP of the league, actually. Then you got the McCourty brothers. You got Jonathan Jones back there. And Jonathan Jones spoke yesterday. He also spoke to the media, and he was asked about the departure of Patrick Chung, who is also opting out. So no matter how solid this unit is, Patrick Chung is a veteran safety, and they're going to have to fill that role as well.
We definitely lost, like I said, a lot of veteran leadership, but we still got guys. Like I said, been here, Devin, who's been here. Jason's a leader, but hasn't been here that long. Still an older guy. Steph as well, myself. So yeah, I definitely think it kind of pushes me more into a role to facilitate some learning for the younger guys and kind of be that role model.
That was Jonathan Jones speaking on all the roles they need to fill across the board, not only in the linebacker core and the secondary, but all across the board. And with a season that they're walking into, Maria, it's unprecedented, obviously, as we talked about. It's going to be different for everybody, let alone the rookies. So what does this mean for the rookies who are trying to get acclimated to that Patriot way when the veterans are also walking into something this strange?
Well, Cole, it is different for everyone, and it's just a weird time. But the thing is, the rookies don't really know any better. Like, this is what they see the NFL as. So they're going to have to get acclimated quicker than any other rookie class has ever had to. But for them, this is now the new normal. They haven't had their first time in the NFL. So I think that although it's going to be incredibly difficult, they're just going to have to do it. As Bill Belichick said, everybody else in the league is going through the same thing. So it's not ideal. It's not great, especially for some of those rookies who got cut before they even got to step on the field. But it is what it is, and I think that this class will make the most of it and hopefully be successful for the Patriots.
Yeah, absolutely, Maria. And Belichick also mentioned like this is what they do in college. It might work out for them. They don't have the same preseason and training camp like the NFL does. So in a way, it could work out for them. It might be better. And as we move on to the next part of this, I mean, one more thing that is a huge thing heading into the next week or two, or even once the regular season starts, cap space and free agency possibilities. Maria, 2 days ago, the Management Council is what it's called, informed teams that signing bonus prorations will be removed from the 2020 cap space immediately. So that's allowing teams to gain tens of millions of dollars in cap space depending on their opt-outs. And since New England has had 8 opt-outs, their salary cap now for the year is over $35 million. They did re-sign Isaiah Zuber yesterday, a wide receiver, so it might go down a little bit. But what does that mean? Is there a chance that Bill Belichick and this organization tries to use that to their advantage?
I mean, Cole, I think this whole aspect of this cap space is crazy because heading into this season, the Patriots probably had one of the highest payrolls in the NFL. I mean, they signed Cam Newton, and they were like really walking on thin ice in terms of having money to spend, and now they have all this money. And I think not all of this money. They have all of this cap space available, and I think that they need to go out and get some other guys. I mean, at least they need to get veterans. Even if the veterans aren't going to make an immediate impact, they can at least guide and lead those younger players. I mean, one person that I see is definitely Delaney Walker at tight end. I mean, you're going to have 2 rookie tight ends coming in for the Patriots, and Matt Lacoste opted out the other day, and an area that's already been struggling for New England. So I think that Bill Belichick will make some moves knowing him, but it's just really going to be interesting to see what he actually does.
Maria, you're completely right about that. I'm going to throw something crazy at you, though. You might think I'm wild, but here's the thing. There's a guy named Antonio Brown. You might know him. He played in Pittsburgh. So he just announced his retirement for probably the 3rd time on Twitter a couple weeks ago. But here's the thing. He's still a free agent. If he decided to come back, which I don't think is a crazy thought, he has an 8-week suspension heading into the 2020 season for all the violations of the policies that he crossed the line in many different ways for the NFL. Would it be crazy to think that the mastermind, Bill Belichick, and this organization would go after someone like him? What do you see at week 9 and you see Antonio Brown be like, I'm coming back to play, and he joins the Patriots? Would they give him a second shot?
This is my thing. I don't put anything past Bill Belichick. Like, his mind just operates on like this football intellectual level that no one else can comprehend. So if it was the right football move, then Antonio Brown might be a Patriot again. But my only thing is that they tried it once. It didn't work out. But if Bill Belichick thinks that Antonio Brown is his best option in week 9 to help him win football games in some crazy way, and he can figure out a way to get him on the roster, then I'm not going to rule it out. And we also live in this era of like the coronavirus pandemic. So like nothing really surprises me anymore. So if Antonio Brown is playing football week 9 and he happens to be in Foxborough, I mean, I'm not gonna put money on it because I don't know if I'll win that. I don't know.
I mean, like you said, the era we're in the 2020 movie, I'm going to call it a movie, the 2020 movie we're in.
It's
I,
definitely a movie, yeah.
I would not be surprised if something like this happened. And something you said to me earlier today, Maria, was Bill Belichick. He comes up with the craziest. He is a true mastermind, and it's something actually we talked about a week or two ago. Adam Schefter tweeted something. He was talking to an NFL executive, and they said, what's up with all these Patriots opt-outs? And they said, Bill Belichick has something up his sleeve. What if this is part of it? What if this is the huge plan, to put this all together?
I would not be surprised. I mean, he always has, and I also said this to you earlier too, Cole, was that if Bill Belichick finds a way to win with all these players leaving, which I do think he will, he just figures out a way, the debate of his coaching ability should be no more. He should be at the top. Who else loses their all-time quarterback, who loses 8 players to opt out in trades, and I would not be surprised if they're still successful this year. It would not surprise me at all.
It really would not surprise me either, Maria. I think we'll get more into that in the next couple of weeks, giving our AFC East previews and an outlook on not only AFC but across the league. But that's going to do it for this. We're gonna jump into the 2-minute drill. Are you ready?
Yes.
Positive?
Absolutely positive.
Okay. This is a fun one, though. Yesterday, we mentioned Jonathan Jones and Juwan Bentley talked to the media. The third guy that came in, oh my gosh, he was excited. Joe Thuney, the newly franchise-tagged offensive lineman for the Patriots. Maria, he looked very happy to be on camera and to see all these reporters. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited did he look?
Joe Thuney gets an 11 for happiness. I'm telling you, Cole, if you were having a bad day and you watched Joe Thuney walk in and he looked like a fish in a bowl, and he was kind of poking the camera, was trying to orient himself. He was so happy to be there, and it just kind of radiated across the computer screen, which is awesome. And he was so happy, and I think that everybody needs to carry that attitude, whatever they're doing, whether it's in their job or into training camp, because he was an 11 out of 10 on the happiness scale yesterday.
Yeah, and he was very humble. He was just really excited to get back to it. He didn't care what was going on. He just wants to play football. Is there anyone else that you think could match that? Not only his team, but maybe even across the league. Can someone be that excited and match Joe Thuney?
I don't know. He just had that childhood joy. Maybe a rookie. I could see a rookie who's just excited to be there. I mean, I was doing some research on Dalton Keene. Maybe he would come into our the next press conference that he has, and he looks really happy, because I feel like if I was a rookie in the NFL, I would be yes, I am so happy to be here. I mean, things haven't happened yet, So I think that a rookie has the best chance of being not as happy as Joe Thuney was yesterday, but close to it.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess we'll have to see as the season plays out. But that's it for us today. Make sure you tune in this weekend as well. We'll touch more on the opt-out deadline. That is today. Remember, at 4 o'clock today. To find out what only the 2 ways that a player can opt out of the 2020 season. It's really interesting. We'll talk about that later. Thank you for joining us on New England Nation Extra. She's Maria Tribalpiece, and I'm Cole Johnson. Have a good one.